fans, Michael here at Moto Machines, and today we are continuing the Daytona 675 build series with a review of the RaceTorx shift shaft supports. Now these are a relatively simple item, but they do make a world of a difference. And essentially what they do is stiffen up the shift shaft, effectively eliminating the slop in your shifter to provide a more positive shift and eliminate false neutrals. If you don't know what a false neutral is, it's when you go to grab another gear when you're shifting up and the transmission somehow finds neutral, and it can be rather dangerous because you effectively lose all power because you were on the gas and now you're in neutral, so the bike's just revving. And this is especially dangerous on a racetrack because as you're driving out of the corners and you're getting on that gas, if you hit that false neutral, you lose your outward drive and the bike will sweep back into the direction of the turn. So for example, at our home track of Summit Point, I've hit false neutral once or twice coming out of turn one. It's a really heavy braking zone, right-hander, decreasing radius. As you go to get back on the gas to drive outwards, so you can sweep back into turn two, I hit false neutral and the bike effectively just dips right back into the right. And this is also dangerous because if there's people behind you, they're expecting you to be able to continually accelerate at a high rate of speed. And if you hit that false neutral, you're not going anywhere. It's effectively like you just turned your bike off. So that's another big danger to having those false neutrals, and these shift shaft supports eliminate that. They come in a wide variety of colors as well, so you can pretty much mix and match them how you want to your bike. We're going with anodized red because that is our company color, along with the black and gray and basically everything right here in this room. Come up a little closer here, Andrew. So, as I mentioned, this is a relatively simple product. We have two versions here. This one here is going to be going on the 2015 Daytona 675R we have, and this one here on my right side, Andrew's left, is going to be going on our 2006 Daytona 675. Now we have two versions here. One is clearly labeled RaceTorx, and this was important because I wanted you to see the difference between the real deal and the Alibaba, eBay knockoff crap that you find out there, because people assume that this is just a simple part so I can cheap out on it. That is not the case at all. You do not want to cheap out on stuff like this. You can even see just in the finish how much better the RaceTorx one is. The anodizing is nicer. This one is literally already scratched. You might not be able to see it very well on camera. You have a nice little gasket here on the real one, and although the design is very similar, you have a nice copper bushing here instead of just a piece of aluminum. That gasket again there, and it just looks nicer overall. Now as far as weight goes, the real one is pretty much twice the weight of this cheap one. I'm not going to try to bend this nice one, but I mean, I guess I can try. I literally can't bend it. So we actually figured out a way to test the bending because I tried to bend it with my hands and it was awkward enough that I couldn't because it's such a small thing. But this is basically, the RaceTorx one has some bend in it, but it snaps back right away. Literally right away. I can feel it moving, but it doesn't actually bend. This cheap one here, that's it. Bent. It doesn't bend back. So there you go. Piece of junk, real deal. All right, but this is the one that we are going to be throwing on the 2015 model. As you can see, it's a little bit different design, but things change over years. And like I said, it comes with that satchel of grease, and you also get 2 new bolts. So let's throw it on there. Okay, so the first step. Now we always mess with things before we film them on camera. And the first step is you have to remove these little pins here. There's one on each end. There's one here, as you can see, but there's also one here behind the heel guard. And essentially how they come out, it's right here. But essentially how they come out is you just pop them like this. Kind of starts to move a little bit. Now these are old, so they're pretty well on there, but I'm going to take a little flat blade You just pop it down like that and slides out. Boom, done. It took us a while to figure that out, but next step is to remove the sprocket cover. Now when we did our Samco hose video, which you can watch by clicking the card in the upper right hand side of the screen, we left one of these bolts out because honestly we didn't feel like putting it back in, and this was kind of a pain to get back on, but there's one more bolt down here that we need to get. Okay, now that that's installed and just barely tight, you don't have to go crazy on it, we're going to reinstall the sprocket cover. There's a little channel that the radiator hose here and the vent hose here sits in, as well as all these wires and stuff. After admittedly fiddling with this longer than I would have liked, we got it back on. So now we're just going to reinstall the bolts. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see. Come under here. There is a little tiny pinhole that this sits in, and you basically just slide it in and push it on, and it's clipped in. Now, we're going to do the exact same with this backside here. Had I not tried to rush through anything, it would have gone a lot smoother, and now we are going to get way more positive shifts, no more false neutrals. That's what we got for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in more content like this, hit that bell notification so you can stay up to date on all the latest Moto Machines madness. Ride safe.